Hi everybody, sumchief here. Today we're looking at polynomial long division, and specifically this quotient here, 5x to the 5 minus 6x plus 4 divided by x squared minus 4. And that looks quite complicated, but there's a nice simple method we can use, polynomial long division. So I'll show you how this works. So as you would do normally, if you was dividing something long division, in your denominator, x squared minus 4, you put outside the fraction sign, and then the 5x to the 5 minus 6x plus 4, you put in the fraction sign. So notice here there's a gap between a 5x to the 5 and minus 6x. You've got possibly terms of x to the 4, x to the power 3, x to the power 2 that could fit in there. So where do we start? So basically 5x to the 5, that's the first term. And on the divide, what we're going to divide by is x squared. That's the first term there. So these are the two terms we're only interested in at the moment. The minus 4, the minus 6x, and the plus 4. We come to that in a little bit. So x squared into 5x to the 5. So x to the 5 divided by x squared is x cubed. And obviously 5 divided by 1 is 5. So that gives us the 5x cubed at the top there. And if we don't worry about the minus 4 for the moment, we're not going to divide that by the 5x to the 5 because we can't do that anyway. So this 5x to the cubed, what we do now is multiply this 5x cubed by everything on this side. So that's x squared and minus 4. So 5x cubed times x squared is 5x to the 5. And 5x cubed times minus 4 is minus 20 to the x cubed. Now you'll notice here you've got minus 5x to the 5 and plus 20x cubed. So basically what you do here, you multiply this result here, 5x cubed, by all this stuff here that you're going to divide by, and then you subtract it from what you've got inside the fraction sign here. So that's why you flip the signs. So 5x to the cubed times x squared is 5x to the 5, so that becomes then negative. 5x cubed times minus 4 is minus 20x cubed, which then becomes positive. So then what we do is we divide, we subtract all the like terms. So let's bring the next line up. So 5x to the 5 minus 5x to the 5, that cancels out. And then 0 minus 20x cubed, that one will give us 20x cubed. Hi everybody, sumchief here. Today we're looking at polynomial long division, and then specifically we're looking at this quotient here, which is 5x to the 5 minus 6x plus 4 divided by x squared minus 4. So how do we do about that? So the denominator here, x squared minus 4, we put this on the outside of our little divide sign, and the numerator, 5x to the 5 minus 6x plus 4, we put inside our little divide sign. And you notice that here there's a little bit of a gap, and that's because you've got an imaginary figures, possibly x to the 4, x to the 3 and x to the 2. So we leave a gap there just in case we need it. Okay, so what we're interested in to start with is the terms to the left, which is x squared and 5x to the 5. So basically what we do first is we do 5x to the 5 divided by x squared. We ignore the minus 4 for now. So 5x to the 5 divided by x squared gives us an x cubed and then a 5. So 5x cubed. So that's what we've got here, 5x cubed. So that's our result there. We don't worry about anything for now. The minus 6x plus 4 and the minus 4 here, we just leave that for the moment. So now this is our result, 5x cubed. So now this 5x cubed, we now multiply by all the terms that we had in our denominator. So 5x cubed times x squared minus 4. That then gives us our 5x to the 5 and our 20x cubed. So minus 4 times 5 is 20x cubed. Well, you see here that the signs are flipped. So 5x cubed times x squared is plus 5x to the 5, but that's a minus. 5x cubed times minus 4 is minus 20x cubed, but here I've got a positive. So basically what happens is, when we've got our result here, we subtract. So basically 5x to the 5 will then subtract from 5x to the 5, and the 5x to the cubed times minus 4, which is minus 20x to the cubed, will then also become a positive, and then what happens is here we then just follow the sum that we're given. And notice here that this part here is not used yet. So let's move down to the next line. So 5x to the 5 minus 5x to the 5 is 0. And here we could put in a 0, but we just leave it blank. So 0 plus 20x to the cubed is just 20x cubed. So now this is our next bit we're interested in, is 20x cubed. So now what we do is we get 20x cubed and divide it by x squared. Now 20x cubed divided by x squared is just 20x. And it's a plus 20x. So we just write that then here in the top of our divide sign next to the previous result, which is plus 20x. So now all we're interested in now is this plus 20x. So now we're going to multiply this 20x by all our denominator terms, which is x squared minus 4. So 20x times x squared is 20x cubed. But of course we flip the sign, so it's now minus 20x cubed. 20x times minus 4 is minus 80x. Flip the sign, which then becomes plus 80x. Okay, so now what we do, we bring down the minus 6, because then we've got a term with the x as well. So this term now will come down in a line here and end up next to our last result. So 20x cubed minus 6x, and then we subtract the 20x cubed and the plus 80x, which we got when we multiplied the 20x and the terms in our denominator. So 20x cubed minus 20x cubed is 0. Minus 6x plus 80x is 74x. So there we go. So that's basically our quotient is now 74x plus 4 is bring the plus 4 down, so 74x plus 4. So now what we've got is basically 5x to the 5 minus 6x plus 4 divided by x squared minus 4 gives us 5x cubed plus 20x, and our remainder is 74x plus 4. So this is how we will write this. 5x to the 5 plus 20x with remainder 74x plus 4, and then this is how we write it. So as our original question equals 5x cubed plus 20x plus 74x plus 4 divided by x squared minus 4, and that's basically the answer to our question. So let's try another one. Here we go. So the next one is 5x to the 4 minus 3x squared divided by x cubed minus 1. So again, this is our denominator, so that goes outside of the long division symbol, and the 5x to the 4 minus 3x squared will go inside. So this is how we set it up. So 5x to the 4 minus 3x squared and x cubed minus 1, that one goes outside. So again, starting from the left, 5x to the 4 divided by x cubed, that will give us 5x. So if you notice here, we've left the gaps as we always need to, and 5x goes at the top. Then we multiply the 5x by the x cubed minus 1. And remember to flip the signs. 5x times x cubed is 5x to the 4. Flip the sign is minus 5x to the 4. And 5x times minus 1 is minus 5x. Flip the sign, becomes plus 5x. So here's our plus 5x here. So here there's no x's in there, so that's basically an imaginary 0. Okay, let's move it on. Let's have a look what we got. So now basically we've got minus 3, so 5x to the 4 minus 5x to the 4 is 0. Minus 3x squared minus or plus 0, it just stays the same. And 0 plus 5x is plus 5x. Now the 3x squared is of a lower indice than the x cubed. So x squared and x cubed. So that means we've come to the end of this calculation. So now we have the quotient of 5x with a remainder of minus 3x squared plus 5x. So that's basically what we get, and then we just to show that how that would appear if we were to write it down, 5x to the 4 minus 3x squared divided by x cubed minus 1 equals 5x minus 3x squared plus 5x divided by x cubed minus 1, as that's our remainder, and that's what was divided by. And the minus sign is in there, so that's why it's a minus and not a plus. Let's have a look at another one. Okay, so now we've got this one here. x to the 8 minus 1 divided by x squared minus 1. Now this one looks pretty challenging, so let's put it in and start from the beginning and see what we get. So x to the 8 minus 1, so big gap in the middle here. There could be several terms in there, x to the 7 all the way down to x. And x squared minus 1, denominator goes on the outside. So x to the 8 divided by x to the squared gives us x to the 6. So 8 minus 2 is 6. So we're dividing the indices 8 minus 2 rather than 8 divided by 2. So don't make that mistake. It wouldn't be x to the 4, that would be wrong. So it's x to the 6, 8 minus 2. So that's x to the 6. Now this x to the 6 we multiply by s squared minus 1, which gives us x to the 8 minus x to the 6, but with flipped signs, it ends up with minus x to the 8 plus x to the 6. Then continuing with the add-in of what we've got here, x to the 8 minus x to the 8 is 0. 0 plus x to the 6 is just x to the 6. So now what we're interested in is this x to the 6. So now what we do, x to the 6 divided by x squared. So 6 minus 2 is 4, so x to the 4. So then what we do now, this x to the 4, we multiply by the x squared minus 1. So x to the 4 times x squared is x to the 6, flip the sign, minus x to the 6. X to the 4 times minus 1 is minus x to the 4, flip the sign, plus x to the 4. Again, just do the sum on that one. X to the 6 minus x to the 6, 0. 0 plus x to the 4 is x to the 4. So now we're interested in x to the 4. So x to the 4 divided by x squared, 4 minus 2 is 2, so that gives us x squared. X squared now times by our denominator, x squared minus 1, flipping the sign, minus x to the 4 plus x squared. Okay, so x to the 4 minus x to the 4 is 0. 0 plus x squared is x squared. And then we know x term, we've got a minus 1 term here, so we can just bring that down. And then we do x squared minus 1 divided by x squared minus 1. Well, that's when it's the same on the denominator as the numerator, you know it's just 1. So that's our remainder is 0. So if we bring this down, x squared minus 1, that's a 0 there because we've subtracted. So there we go. Let's just go through the basic again. So we've got x squared. X squareds divided by x squareds is just 1. So that's why we put the plus 1 in here. So the plus 1 times x squared minus 1 is just x squared minus 1, but with the flipped sign of minus x squared plus 1. And then we go through the sum. So it's x squared minus x squared is 0. Minus 1 plus 1 is 0. So we've got no remainder in this one. So therefore, the quotient of x to the 4 plus x to the 6 plus x squared plus 1 with remainder 0 is our answer. So therefore we write that x to the 8 minus 1 divided by x squared minus 1 equals x to the 6 plus x to the 4 plus x squared plus 1, and no remainder. So that's an exact answer. Okay, thanks for watching, and as always, please remember to subscribe. Any comments, leave in the box below. Thanks very much.